Hello, welcome to my videos in my blog. In this time, I'm going to talk about the MLB 2025 standings. Sorry, week 4. Well, this week was played the week 4 on MLB 2025 season. So, for that reason, I'm recording this video where I'm going to talk about who are the MLB standings are through our both leagues in the American and National League. So let's start. Well, let's start with American League with the East Division where my favorite team, in the East Division, my favorite team, the New York Yankees, took the return to the lead of this division after 1 week. The last week they have the best record in the division and in the American League with a 14-8 record. They have a tremendous week where they have a 7-3 record in the last 10 games played. In the second place are the Blue Jays with a 12-10 record, and in the third place are the Red Sox with a 12-11 record. You can see here that the difference from the Yankees to the Red Sox are only the 2.5 games difference, and it looks like that the Orioles and the Tampa Bay Rays are in the bottom. They are the Yankees, Blue Jays, and the Red Sox are creating that gap. That it looks that these three teams, Yankees, Blue Jays, and Red Sox, are going to fight to win this division and to enter the playoffs, and the Orioles and the Rays will be in the bottom. But let's see, because it's still early in the season. In the Central Division, the Tigers and the Warriors are in the fight to win this division. The Tigers are leading this division with a 13-9 record. They have a 5-game advantage against the Cleveland Warriors, and these two teams in this moment are in the hunt for win this division. The Royals fell because they have been playing a very bad baseball in the last 10 games played, because they have a 2-8 record, and for that reason they are 4.5 games maybe below the Tigers and 4 games below the Warriors. So maybe if they have a very great week the next week, they can reach them. And the Twins have a 7-15 record, and the White Sox are in the bottom 5-16. So in my opinion, I think that the Twins and the White Sox are going to be in the bottom, and they are not going to compete against these three teams. And I think that the Royals are going to reach the Warriors and the Tigers, and these three teams are going to fight to win this division. In the West Division, the Texas Rangers took the lead of this division this week because they have the best record in this division, 13-9. They have a 1-game advantage against the Seattle Mariners, 1.5 game against the Angels, 2.5 game against the Astros, and 3 games against the Athletics. So this division is very close and very exciting, because remember that the last week, in the first 3 weeks, the Anaheim Angels were leading this division, but now they fell to the third place, where today they made a walk-off where they were losing 1-4 in the beginning of the ninth inning, but they scored 4 runs in the bottom of the ninth, and they won that game. So this is interesting, where the Rangers won the series against the Dodgers, and this is interesting because there is only 3 games different from the first place, the Rangers, again to the last place, the Athletics. So this will be an interesting division in the beginning of the season. And in the National Division, in the National League, and in the East Division, the New York Mets are still leading this division with the best record. In this division, 15-7, they have a 2-game advantage against the Philadelphia Phillies that have a tremendous record, and 13-9. This is amazing. And these two teams, the Mets and Phillies, are creating that gap against the other 3 teams, the Marlins, the National League, and the Braves. How I told you the last week, the Marlins still have a record above 500, but this week they have a bad week, and for that reason they fell for 5th time in the season, a record below 500. Some surprise are the Braves. They are 5 games below 500, but remember that in the beginning of the season, the first 2 series they play against the Padres and against the Dodgers, where they lost the 8 games, and for that reason they started very bad the season. But they are recovering, and I think that the Braves, alongside the Mets and the Phillies, are going to fight to win this division, and I think that the Marlins and the Nationals don't have anything to fight because they are very 2 bad teams. In the Central Division, the Cubs had a bad week, and for that reason they reduced the gap that they have the last week. This is a 3rd consecutive week that they are leading, but this time by only 1 game game difference. They have the best record in the division, 14-10. The only difference is that they have played 2 more games than the rest of the teams. Remember that they play in the Tokyo series where they lost that 2 games against the Los Angeles Dodgers. And the Brewers are in the second place with a 12-10 record, and the Reds are in the record of 500, and they are 2 games below the Cubs. So it looks like that the Cubs, the Brewers, and the Reds are gonna to fight and are fighting to win this division, and the Cardinals and the Pirates are creating that gap that is separating them against these 3 teams. So I see very difficult that the Cardinals and the Pirates are gonna to fight to enter to the playoff. But let's see, because it's still early in the season, and in the West Division, the best division in this league, because they have 4 of the best teams in the league are still dominated, because you can see here the 4 teams have a record above 500, where the Padres have the best record, 16-6. The second best record, the Dodgers, 16-7. They are a half game below the Padres. So we are waiting for the first series between these 2 teams, because it will be tremendous. The Giants, that they, in this moment, are the surprise, because nobody expected nothing about them, have a 14-8 record, where they lost the game that they had won it in the beginning of in the top of the night, where they were leading 4-1, but in the bottom of the night, he's closer, couldn't contend the Angels' offenses, and they lost that game. And the Diamondbacks that had a tremendous week, because the last week they were like a 6 game below the Padres, but now they reduced that gap. They have a 39 record, and they are only 3 games below the Padres. So this is interesting, because you can see here that these 4 teams are playing a tremendous baseball. I think that in the end, the Padres and the Dodgers are going to fight to win this division, and the Giants and the Diamondbacks are going to try to enter to the playoffs. And the Rockets are the worst team in the league. So in this video, I talk about how are the MLB standings are. Through our 4 weeks of games in both leagues, in the American and National League. So I hope you like this video, and if you have any comment or suggestion, you can write me in any social media platform. So see you next video. Gibran.